It's me again. This is part two to my last video about beauty standards. Basically, what I was talking about was the Leslie Jones situation and how there are black men trying to say how ugly she is, and if we call her pretty or beautiful, then we're lying and we're just being nice. And then all the people attacking Leslie Jones, saying these horrible racist things about her. It was just terrible and overwhelming. There was a hashtag created for Leslie Jones saying love for Leslie Jones. People came to her aid. John Boyega came to her aid. But at the same time, none of her white feminist co-stars from Ghostbusters came to her aid. No one said anything. You know, it's so fun to put a black woman as a shucking and jiving character for her to use a they for diversity points in your girl power movie, but when she's in trouble, you're not coming to her aid. Like, where the hell are you? Like, Melissa McCarthy is apparently the only one with a Twitter, but she hasn't been on since July 12th, but who cares? As soon as she heard what was going on, she should have immediately said, hey, that's wrong. But you know what? White women don't see black women as women. They don't see us as victims of misogyny, because the only way we can be victims of misogyny or sexism is if we're pretty and delicate, you know, with thin features and all of that. That's what people look at as a victim of misogyny, is if we're pretty and delicate with like long hair, then we could be victims of misogyny. And that's just bullshit. You know, for you to say that you're a feminist, but then for your coworker to get attacked the way that she did and for you to not say anything, this shows that you're a fucking racist. Kristen Wiig, Melissa McCarthy, and that other woman, I don't know who she is, you're all fucking racist. Because if you were truly about that girl power, you would have came to Leslie Jones' aid and said, hey, this is racist, this is sexist, you shouldn't treat black women like this because she's a woman. But you guys don't care. Also, John Boyega, I am so glad that you came to her aid, because, you know, a lot of black men wouldn't have done what you did, even dark-skinned black men, because John Boyega has the same features as Leslie Jones, so he kind of understood where she was coming from, but not many black men are like that. A lot of times they would just sit there and say, oh, just shut up and deal with it, you're just insecure, blah, 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 blah. But no, John Boyega said, queen, keep doing what you're doing, don't let these fools get to you. And then some asshole, some feminist said, don't call her a queen. You know, it's a stereotype to say that African women are African queens. And he said, you're so stupid. Because one, he made no mention of her being an African queen. He just called her a queen. As someone said, had he said about Jennifer Lawrence or his friend Daisy from Star Wars, whatever her name is, no one would have said anything. But because here he comes defending a black woman, then it's an issue. Just like with Kanye West. You can say what you want about Kanye, but the reason why Taylor Swift did what he did was because he embarrassed her for a black woman. He embarrassed her by saying, I think Beyonce had one of the greatest videos of all time. And that really hurt Taylor Swift to the point that she played a victim, because how dare this black man come on stage and say that a black woman may have been better than her. People do this all the time. Like with Melania Trump. Everyone is saying, oh, who cares? You know, she loves Michelle Obama. She idolizes her. You know, it's okay because Michelle Obama is a smart, beautiful woman, so she should be flattered. Why is it every time a black woman who has a lot going on for herself is appropriated by a white woman, she should be flattered? As if we have to make these basic ass white women feel better that they aren't as hot as people tell them that they are. It pisses me off. It really does, because we are told that white women are prettier, they are smarter, they are better than us. And then when we're better than a white woman, we gotta humble ourselves. We gotta make white women feel better about themselves. That's why you have so many black men putting posts of Kylie Jenner saying Beyonce has nothing on her, or black women are just jealous and insecure. Like basically saying, you know, you already have the body that we already fetishize, and you know you have a nice body, you know that you have nice features or something like that. So when a basic ass thin white girl with thin lips is paraded as beautiful, we have to just step aside because you want to gaslight us and say, oh, you know you're beautiful, which is such bullshit. Because no, I don't think I'm beautiful in a society that says blackness is literally ugly, brown skin, dark skin, 4C short nappy hair. I'm told that every day. I see that every day. And for people to pretend like it's not a thing, it just shows that they don't want to talk about it because they want to avoid talking about a serious issue like black women are ugly or being seen as ugly. They don't want to talk about it. And that's why I came at one of my followers on here for saying that it's just not okay to be an insecure black woman. Like, this had nothing to do with being insecure, but to literally sit there and tell me to not be insecure, to be strong, that's an insult. That's basically saying I can't be neurodivergent, I can't be weak, I can't be delicate, I can't be fragile, I have to be strong, because by my being strong and fragile and seen as worthy of protection or seen as worthy of being uplifted, it makes white women feel invalidated, because if they look at a black woman getting attention, it's like, well, what does that say about my womanhood? That's why white women always have to step in and say all women are beautiful, because they know good and well that the only reason why they are seen as beautiful is at the expense of other women, black women. So when black women are being told that they are beautiful, white women feel guilty and say, well, what about all women? Because they know damn well that when one woman is being uplifted, one woman must be put down. That's what happens all the time when it comes to a white woman or lighter skinned woman, where, oh, she's so pretty, the other one's not. And they get told that all the time. So then when they're told that, hey, this other girl is beautiful, well, what about me? Because they are so accustomed to being told that they are beautiful at the expense of another girl or a woman. So when a woman is being told that she's beautiful, they feel it's a shot at their ego. And black men want to sit there and make them feel better, putting down Beyonce or other pretty black women to make white women like Kylie Jenner, who had to literally buy their features to be seen as beautiful, who had to buy full lips, who had to buy a big ass, or had to work out to get thick, and then be called beautiful, while other black women are being ignored because we're not white, we're not pure, we're not seen as beautiful. Not even Amber Rose, who is damn near white passing. She's white passing. She has a tan a lot of times, but she's white passing. And people try to get mad at me like Amber Rose isn't white passing. No, because it's so funny that you want to claim all these racially ambiguous white passing women as looking black, but then want to sit there and say Jesse Williams looks white or Drake looks white. Just like someone got mad at me because I said Mindy, what's her name? Or no, Misty Copeland was white passing, or damn near white passing. When I first saw her, I thought she was a white woman. Someone got mad like, no, she looks black, she looks like you. Like, bitch, no the fuck she does not, and there's nothing wrong with that. But to get mad because I'm saying that racially ambiguous women can pass as white Italians or ethnic Europeans, you can't get mad at me for that. Just like Melania Trump, my dad really tried to say that she was mixed, that she was of African descent because she's from Slovenia, and he said it was a little bit outside of Italy. My dad was like, oh yeah, these people are descendants of Africans. First of all, even if they are, they're not claiming them, so why the fuck should we claim them? Second of all, Melania Trump is as white as snow. She just has bronzer, and then all of a sudden you guys want to act brand new like, oh, she has an accent, and she's an immigrant, and she's from Europe, so obviously she's not white. Since when have Europeans not been white? Like, literally, that's what white means, to be a European. If you are a European, for the most part, you are white. Sure, there are ethnic Europeans that aren't white. There are Jewish people. There are people a part of the Romani group. There are natives who have migrated from Australia, or no, not Australia, from Asia to Australia or Africa. There are native Europeans that are brown. There's an Aboriginal group in Australia that aren't white. We understand that. There's a group in Ireland that are black and they are natives. Okay, we get it. But for the most part, if you see someone that looks like Melania Trump, she's likely going to be white. Unless she says otherwise. Stop trying to put POC status on people that aren't claiming POC. There are people that are white passing or white appearing that appear to be white, but they aren't really racialized as white. Like a lot of people who are Jewish Europeans, they aren't really seen as white like other white people. Or as someone told me, unlike the Irish, they didn't necessarily become white. They never really became white. So I understand there are Europeans that appear to be white, but aren't really racialized as white. But Melania Trump is not a brown woman. She's not African. So stop trying to claim all these white ass women who aren't white passing at all as white. Come on now. Just because she has an accent, just because she can barely speak English doesn't mean that she's all of a sudden brown. And as someone else said, she's seen as a white type of immigrant because she's thin, she's white, she's pretty, so no one's going to say that she's an invader of America. You know, I don't believe in that whole xenophobic stereotype, but everyone wants to talk about Mexicans or those of Latin American descent. But then here comes Trump with his immigrant wife, and no one's really saying anything because she's just pretty and she's a trophy wife. And I'm not here for the trophy wife thing either. You know, I think using women as some sort of trophy wife or status symbol, that's fucked up. But you know what? Melania Trump, I can't really say much about her. She just tried to get away with stealing a black woman's speech. She really did, and she looked like a fool. You know, she didn't look confident. She knew, because the way she was speaking, it was like she knew that, you know, this is Michelle Obama's speech, and I don't think I can get away with it. Like, she knew what she was doing. And everyone's saying, oh, it was her speechwriter. As I said in my last video, why would someone just randomly think, oh, I'm just going to steal a speech from someone else? Because that could get you fired. So why would anyone just think to themselves, oh yeah, let's just steal some speeches and, you know, mix up the words so no one will think that it's that person's speech? No, I feel like the Trumps were in on it. I feel like they were underhanded enough to say, hey, we're just going to steal a speech from Michelle Obama, this black woman, and hopefully no one will notice. Which was just so ignorant, because why did they think they would get away with it? But like I said, stop claiming all of these non-black European women as African or as brown, because they are not. As I said, Kim Kardashian is not brown. She's not Arab. She's not Middle Eastern. She's not a woman of color. She's a white woman. Armenians are white. People will tell you this. There are Armenians who will say, we're white. The Young Turks, the video where, what's her name? I think it's, I don't know her name, but she said that she was Armenian and that they are very much white. So people trying to say that Kim Kardashian is white are those trying to justify cultural appropriation and to say, oh, it's okay because she's a woman of color, so she has claim to black women's bodies, because people think cultural exchange is the same thing as stealing parts of blackness. You know, there is cultural exchange where sometimes the Indian community will exchange with people of the indigenous African community. That's why I didn't really have beef with MIA, because I saw it as cultural exchange. You know, a lot of times they are influenced from each other. But that's not the case with a lot of women of color. They just come in and jack black women's features or black women's culture and think, oh, okay, we can do it because we're women of color. We should share. But you're not asking. You know, it's not cultural exchange at all. People did it with Jennifer Lopez. Oh, it's okay. She can say nigga because she's a sister. She's not a sister. First of all, you're erasing Afro-Puerto Ricans who are actually black, who actually claim to be black. But you want to claim Jennifer Lopez as a black woman or a sister of ours? Just like with Jocelyn Hernandez, everyone's trying to say that, oh, she's not black, she's Puerto Rican. But then want to claim someone who's obviously not an Afro-Puerto Rican as black. That doesn't make any sense. But like I said, I'm so sick of these beauty standards of people just trying to put down black women to make other women feel better about themselves. But then when we tell a black woman that she's pretty, oh, we're lying. Or if a black woman says, you know, I don't feel pretty, you know, I feel ugly. You got black men saying, that's not true. You know, you look good. And by saying that, it gets them off the hook of realizing, hey, black women are really uglified. They are seen as ugly. And it comes to the point where you have black women who are obviously not ugly thinking that they're ugly. But instead of having to evaluate that and their complicity in that, they have to lie and say, oh, you should know because, like, we have privilege. We have some sort of beauty privilege. And black women who are thick with features that white women or non-black women coveted should just be happy because that just shows that we're actually beautiful. And you're not listening to the point of, we were told that we're ugly for years, for centuries even. To say that we should just deal with it and we should know that we're pretty, it's just, it's a lie, because you're missing the point that it's not about whether we're ugly or not. It's the fact that we're told that we're ugly. We're told to hate our features. And for you to just sit there all bitter like, oh, you're insecure. But if we were to talk about Kylie Jenner, then we're jealous of her and we're being judgmental and we should leave Kylie Jenner alone, or if we say that Khloe Kardashian isn't that pretty, then oh, we're just being mean and she's pretty. You will find all types of ways to say that Khloe Kardashian is pretty, but then want to come and say, oh, you shouldn't say that Leslie Jones is pretty because then you be lying. Like, you make all these excuses for why basic ass white women are so pretty, but then we say Leslie Jones is pretty and you're like, oh, stop lying, you're just trying to be nice. I'm just so annoyed. I really am, because like I said, black men are the main ones trying to put down black women to uplift white women, to put us in our place, to make us feel ugly so we don't think that we're better than people and we don't start feeling good about ourselves. And that's why a lot of times black men do it, because they know if we start feeling good about ourselves, they believe that, oh, they don't want us anymore. You know, their little melanin posts and all of that is not for us. It's for uplifting each other, and they don't need us, so we're just going to put them in their place. My ear is really itchy. I have no idea why. I have no idea why that is. I'm going to get something to drink a little bit, something to eat maybe. But yeah, I'm just really itchy. But I really don't have anything else to say. Bye.